There is no way. No way. Like, the video you sent me prior to this, I watched it at like 1 a.m. like at one of the evenings last week, and legit thought it was just one of those typical NYC pranks. And now you're telling me that was all Sora 2. And I'm reading the comments in that video. And
that is crazy that like you fell for it. It's one of the first AI videos that you, the person who knows how to use AI, you fell for it on social because it was just posted. It was fine. It was okay.
Do you know what it is? And I'll give you what it is. It's the low qualityness of it. Like, I'm literally looking at it now, like, you know, like the blurriness around the edges.
Yeah.
It's that like shit iPhone, maybe iPhone 10, 11 vibes that they filmed it on.
I saw a perfect explanation on how to identify an AI video nowadays, which is it's both too good and too bad. No. If you think about it, we had high definition cameras on our phones and everywhere for years now. There's literally zero reason for a video to be that blurry as the AI videos are. So if the quality is too bad, you're like, okay, this might be something. And then the second thing, if that same video is too bad in terms of the quality, but the lighting is just too perfect because they're sitting on a subway, but she looks like she's lit by Hollywood setup, then if you have two of those things going opposing each other, then that's probably an AI video. And we're getting high definition soon, and Sora Pro is here, so you can get 1080. The Veo 3 is going to do 4K, so we're going to be fooled. But if you got fooled, all of our families, everybody else.
Can we just okay, it was a stupid o'clock in the morning, but now I'm watching it back. Yeah, I'm fucking dumb because, first of all, the eyes. Why is everyone like literally like this? And then now, when she goes hand to mouth, it goes, heh. That's not a normal, but yeah, fair play.
In today's episode, we're going to react to Sora 2 being released and all of the drama associated with it. We will discuss how they released a model that's basically copyright free. They did a classic bait and switch. They released a model that didn't respect copyright at all. You could generate anything and everything for the first 2 days because straight afterwards, they clamped down on it and users were like, wait, this doesn't work anymore. So many content generations got rejected that people are declaring the whole app dead. And let's be honest, you use Sora in a way where you just generate something in the app and then download it and put it on TikTok. So that's the big one for Sora 2 today. Then we're going to talk about Tilly Norwood, the Hollywood AI actress. How is that possible? How is the industry going to take it? How are you going to take it as a filmmaker that is very opposed to using those things? And lastly, what was the last one?
You remember your topics, never remember mine. It was Wizz Air. Wizz Air making a complete head-to-toe AI advert. What does that do for the brand? What does it do for the brand perception? Who knows?
All right, let's do it. So, Sora 2, have you seen it?
I have seen it. I've seen literally... it was like a 2-day period of TikTok where I was like, no, Batman doing this, Star Wars doing that, and even more recent films, people re-scening films that came out last year. I was like, how are they getting away from this? The model must be getting all this content, but mad, actually mad.
Do you know what's mad? It's they trained the model on everything, obviously, because you can generate, and these are crazy things that you can generate because it's not only that you can put Pikachu with Mario in the Matrix and, abuse every IP ever, but also it shows you, for example, a full gameplay of an actual game, like a full mission from a game. So you could generate literally parts of existing footage, existing IP. And OpenAI went extremely aggressive with this release because usually you need to release a model like this and then maybe politely ask the copyright holders, hey, excuse me, could we maybe license Mario for this app? Which Nintendo is going to be like, absolutely not. But what they did is we release everything and anybody can produce whatever they want. And if you have any IP, you can reach out to us and opt out. So it's an opt-in by default, and you had to contact OpenAI saying, you cannot generate this. Obviously, 2 days later, they backtracked real quick. But this is a play that OpenAI has done multiple times before. So when ChatGPT released, you could generate basically large excerpts from the books, right? You could summarize the whole movie plot, exact bullet points from books, so you didn't have to buy the written material. Then, when you started generating images, remember that craze for Studio Ghibli, making everybody's face into Studio Ghibli? That went mainstream, that captured the attention of everyone in technology and
Pixar,
outside of
did
it.
it with Pixar as well. Remember that everyone's doing their Pixar LinkedIn things?
And then they killed it because they're all, oh, sorry, copyright. And then again, they were very savvy, very cunning with this because they were like, let's release this. Don't care about the copyright. We're going to get so much free publicity because everybody was talking about Sora 2 for 2 days. And then we're going to be like, oh, our bad. We didn't press the button for the copyright. Sorry. And Sam Altman is like talking on X how, oh, we didn't expect this to be so popular. We're like, yeah.
I'm sorry. Like that South Park episode, the BP oil engineer. We're sorry.
Yeah.
We're so sorry.
But the quality of the app, the quality of the outputs is amazing. I think it's kind of like VO2. Kind of like VO3. There are models that are better at physics in some ways. So every model now has its strengths, but it's only one of the 2 models that can do both talking and nice video, right? And this is the difference between Google model and OpenAI model. When Google releases something, it's mostly like nice tech demo for engineers, for developers. Like you really need to be into tech to know what that is. Their naming is awful. Like ask any of your relatives or any of your friends who uses Gemini. They'll be like, what is Gemini? What Google has their own chat. And even if they know that, ask them about VO3. People are like, what? I have no idea. Nobody knows outside of people that build in it and people that use it effectively. OpenAI builds products that go mainstream, right? Like they're supposed to be the next, Apple of this. So everybody knows about ChatGPT. It became a verb almost. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I'm going to ChatGPT this.
Also became what the most valued startup in the world last week. Something like worth $500 billion.
Yeah, they're worth the same as Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So the whole of OpenAI is worth exactly the same as Elon Musk net worth. But having said that, they did this amazing feature that they thought of that I am shocked that Google hasn't replicated straight away, which is if you want something to go viral, people love to see themselves. So you could use this Sora app to put your own face and your own voice in the videos in a very simple interface. I think like you scan your face like Face ID multiple times and then you talk for a little bit and it's photorealistic representation of yourself as Batman, which is just fucking sick. That's what you want, right? Like that's how you go viral because you can generate memes with yourself. You can put yourself in a SpongeBob and send it to your group chat. That's how it blew up, right? So even though they clamp down on copyright, putting yourself in a video is what makes things go viral.
It's just you've got me thinking now. Actually, it's I had a bit
oh
of a
wow, that's
brainwave.
the first time in a while.
But literally, like that's so clever because that's literally why some people watch films. Right now, we see ourselves in the character, we feel represented. But you've got a point now where you can put yourself into any fantasy role. I can make myself Aragorn, I can make Batman. Some people I make the Joker. That is fantasy reliving. That is like. I think that's where the future. I don't think it is with AI actors or not. It's like, here's a multi-million-dollar film. Put yourself at this, be the main character, and just have a bit of an ego scratch. Feel good about your life. Have a version of yourself, which it's. Do you remember Minority Report, the Spielberg 2001 with? Do you remember the scene where he goes to his friend to pull the memories out of the precog, and this friend just owns this cafe where people just put themselves in any situation they want. And they like have that itch to scratch. One guy's winning an Oscar. One guy's beating his boss up. One guy is shagging a prostitute, as always. But it's that fantasy fulfillment. And I think that's where this inevitably could lead in a really dark Black Mirror sort of way if we're looking into it. I think that's the clever arc there, because people's egos and fantasy fulfillment is something they will pay for, is something that will be consistent, you know?
Exactly. You solve for somebody's problem or somebody's fantasy, right? And if you could put yourself as a character, as you just mentioned right now, inside of an existing movie, that would be sick. But again, we're a little bit away from that technology actually working seamlessly for people. I think it's very reminiscent of gaming, you know, where you can create a character and you always try to customize the character to be kind of like you. So I think for gaming, AI is going to enable a lot of stuff, you know, where the world is generated as you play and the character can be more like you. You can actually talk to the character using your own voice, not like pre-programmed responses.
Text. Yeah.
Right? Like that would be really cool if I could just play with a headset on and like actually have a conversation with the character in the game, and then see myself or a representation of myself inside of the game. So I think movies and games are going to blend quite a bit here. That's a very clever use of his tech. And yeah, but Sora too, they had a problem with copyright. Now, you know, we'll see how it shakes out. Right now, Sora 2 is available as a service that you can add to your app. So I've been testing it inside of my app. Everybody and anybody right now can add all of these video and image models inside of their apps. So it is, you know, just how do you construct your workflow? It's pretty seamless right now and pretty straightforward. But I don't know how much staying power that has, because still I had this thought since our last podcast that even though you give people the ability to make videos and the ability to make any video, that doesn't mean that people not only can make good videos, because we were helping them with that, but also not everybody wants to make videos, if that makes sense. You know, like people just are like, oh, I spend my time already working. I spend my time already being a doctor or being a plumber or doing whatever else. So I just want somebody else to do the whole thing for me. I just want to watch a movie. You know, like it seems like it's an additional step. It seems like it's more work to just create all the time, as much as we find having a creative outlet as a necessity. I don't think that a lot of people do as well. You can see this on YouTube as well.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because like, how many times do you see like right now any AI stuff, and then it's like, oh, use our app in your phone to do this, and like, you're right, that's cool for a short time, but like, yeah, will someone go through the painstaking regenerations of what you and I know it to be, like, you know, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10 actually hitting the gen you want? Will people actually go there and get bored? Because let's face it, people inherently, our attention span and our patience is at an all-time low, I'd say, in terms of society. So that's a very good point. Would people actually make this an effort, or they say, yeah, just, here's my face, put me in Star Wars 16, I'm happy? It's interesting.
Because like, if you look at TikTok, the barrier to post videos on TikTok is non-existent. You take your phone and you can just film whatever your thoughts are and just put it out there. But the problem is the lack of incentive, because most people are not funny, charismatic enough, or they just don't care enough for the 5 minutes of fame that you can get on TikTok to actually put in the work, right? And yes, it's a funny thing that people started posting on Sora, but I am absolutely against, and as much as I love AI, this whole idea of having a social media app that's fully AI slop generated is awful. I would never, I don't want to even touch this, because I don't find a value in it. Like, if you remove the humans, if you remove the social aspect from the social media app, then it's a media app, but the media is not even good because it's just AI slop that's not even generated by humans. Like, why not remove humans altogether and just have Sora just generate videos for your feed? Like, why do you need people to generate them?
I told you what this is. Like last before we discussed this, that is a very clever move, because that is just going to be a place where everyone can retrain AI on people just giving it for free. They're giving literally all their creativity for free. That's all it is. It's going to be a place where they train models after models. Are we going to go on it? No, that would actually, I think, do you know what? I don't know you, Mick. I get actually really fucking angry at the moment now when I see AI slop or AI ads. So this shit, no, like one the other day I saw, it was a cleaning service, and it literally AI'd someone cleaning badly and then a group of people cleaning good, and then it's like, oh, buy our thing service and we will come and clean your house. I'm like, fuck off. It's just like, the barrier for entry now for even making AI content is non-existent too. So it's like, where do you draw the line? And I'm actually getting angry because I'm seeing it more and more on my feed rather than people. Like, I'm actually struggling to swipe through TikTok and Instagram. 1 out of every 5 or 4 videos I see will be an AI intro or 10 top things, or did you know this, the AI voiceover, the AI content. So a place where that is 24/7, I think I would actually smash my phone. Actually would.
Yeah. And you know what? I agree with you. I don't know if I get angry, but I made this prediction when I pivoted my company from making short form content, because I knew that if the barrier to entry, if something is too easy, too cheap to produce, if you produce ads now at basically zero cost and everyone can do it, that means that nobody cares because it's all same shit over and over and over again. And the only thing that differentiates now is the level of creativity. So again, we're left with only the top 1% of creators who actually know how to tell a story, how to do something in 6 seconds, 15 seconds, 90 seconds. They will flourish. They'll still get the 15K to 50K paychecks to, just generate something on their laptops. But most people, like you right now, are going to get really easily fed up with AI ads and authenticity, producing authentic content, putting yourself out there, even in your ads, and specifically saying it's not AI, is going to be the play. It's the long form content that people cannot tackle. It's the podcast like we're doing right now. It's the ads where you have real people filming real people. Authenticity is going to skyrocket thanks to the fact that AI is flooding everything else. So AI is going to take the cheapest end of the market, and cheapest of the market is always like, you don't want to compete on price because somebody else is going to do something for free. So if you're selling cheap stuff and you need cheap ads, go for it. Taylor Swift, she used some AI in her new album release and she lost 1 million followers because people don't like it. Well, still it's like 1 million out of like a couple 100 million, so it doesn't really matter for her. But it just shows that unless you use, like we discussed, the David Beckham's company that they had an ad made,
high concept creative, good creative that's been thought through, there is an arc, there is something that's cool to look at, then 100%.
Yeah, I saw a trailer from, but also on the flip side, I saw a trailer from Frankenstein, the new upcoming one by,
yeah.
And I have to tell you that it looks worse than a lot of AI trailers. It's just there's some physical limitations to how good you can make real life stuff look. Then I was like, bro, this looks like theater. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like they were filming some theatrical stuff.
On stage, like the pre-release they do on stage. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm fairly certain I can see the makeup here, Whereas like, if I watch AI trailers, and again, it only works for trailers. It doesn't work for a movie right now. But if a trailer is basically 2 minutes of disjointed scenes, they're kind of supposed to give you the vibe of something. Certain AI trailers are way better right now than actual productions. Would I want to watch a 90-minute AI movie today? No. In the future, probably. But I'd much rather probably watch the Frankenstein film.
And just go back to what you said earlier about the market, cheap products, cheap advertising. When you think of cheap air travel, Mick, who do you think of?
Wizz Air.
Thank you. That was definitely not teed up prior to this conversation. Wizz Air released an advert last week, and it is fully head-to-toe AI. I saw it on Ad Forum. I was checking it out again what the latest ad is. And seeing this, it felt like actually they decided to use a cheaper model, because what they used to show a couple traveling the world using Wizz Air felt like what we may have saw a year ago, and I'm wondering how that happened. But I'm more interested from a brand's perspective. Like you said, Wizz Air, cheap bucket airline. You pay for every step you take on the plane. You pay for every breath you take on the plane. All these and then like, yeah, we're gonna make like an AI ad because we actually don't care. And maybe that's the decision they made. But what does it do for your brand? Like if you're already considered the cheap airline of the sky, yeah, we're gonna do cheap advertising then. You know,
that is such a fair point. I didn't think about it. You know what? But that's why you're the creative director for ads. You know what I mean, bro? You just made such a poignant point here. I'm shocked it came from you. Like I never expect any creativity from you, but it's so good because it was so logical. They should triple, quadruple down on this and say, we're not spending our money on marketing. We're spending our money on making the tickets cheap. That's why this ad is AI. Oh, wow. That is such a great idea. You should go and pitch it to Wizz Air.
Well, that's what things that, for me, the reason I thought of that is because that's actually a real Ryanair type methodology. You know the CEO of Ryanair, he comes out with this ludicrous shit. He goes, yeah, €2.50 to use the bathroom, do it to charity. We're going to do the last 10 rows, take them out, do standing flights to Ireland. I can reduce everything by 10% and then we'll sell the seats for €5 a piece. Like, it's that reallocation of funds. And that's why I think from a brand's perspective, I think you should now be very careful using AI advertising. If it is your brand, fuck yeah, lean into it. If we are a cheapest chips brand, yeah, we can use AI advertising because of X. It's a bigger picture now than just jumping on the fad. But I don't think they've thought of it this way, really. I don't think they have. But they should use that.
They didn't. And I think your spin on this is so good. I think this should be the spin for companies that pride themselves in being cheap. So a dollar store, a Walmart. I've seen before campaigns like that where they say, we didn't spend the money on this ad, so they show something very simple, right? Just to save you money.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is actually really good. It could be also good like for hiring because you're in like recruitment advertisement and employer branding. So for example, if you wanted to hire filmmakers, videographers, anybody who makes ads, right? I would actually put out an AI. It's not my original idea. It's a version of it because I've seen this where somebody would post a massive poster. It was like a billboard. It was like a screenshot of Microsoft Paint. And it was just written, we need a graphic designer, as you can probably tell, because it was so simple and ugly. So if you say, as a company, you put out an AI ad and be like, hey, we need actual videographers or actual people with skill, as you can tell, because we can only use AI right now. Maybe there's a play.
But do a bad prompt, a prompt where the camera the cameraman just goes, whoop, the camera just falls on the ground and this and that. Yeah, guys, we really need help. But that's the cool way, right? That's the way to do it. You're still putting the employee, their skills, at the forefront, rather than going, we're going to replace everyone. That's a cool campaign. But you've got to have a brand who's ballsy enough.
Like now you work with nurseries, right? If you work with nurseries, I can, again, I don't know if this is a good idea. I'm just like spitballing right now. But, like making an AI video where you have robots working with children and it all looks kind of dangerous. Or like show that same robot next to a child and next scene, that robot suddenly just falls and you hear the thud. You hear like how heavy and dangerous it is. And like, no, we need humans to work here. Like something along those lines where you show like the bad vibe of it. Yeah, but it's an interesting one because you could use AI for quite creative advertising.
And I thought one the other day, actually, this whole Sora thing of using brands and intellectual property. Imagine actually starting beef across brands. You know how we used to Burger King versus McDonald's, right? Imagine like just Ronald McDonald just opening the boot of a car Tarantino style with the Burger King in there, like bang bang bang. Like that's why I think brands should be going with it now, because that's now like, rather than recreating it, just bring back that brand rivalry and just make it creative. I think that's the space that would be good to touch.
And you're bringing a really good point here because it's all about the speed of execution. So Ryan Reynolds has built his advertising company based on being very reactive to current events. So there was like a Peloton ad that flopped because people were like, oh no, the husband is buying the bike for the wife. This is very patriarchal, whatever. And then he found the actress and within 48 hours, they produced like a sequel to promote his brand. And I think AI enables you to have this speed of execution where you can, basically engage in like the meme warfare with another brand, because they post something and then you can post an AI response that looks like a movie, right? Like it's all about the creativity. So it's not just like posting memes or clever text. So maybe it's the speed. If something relies on being executed really quickly because it needs to be posted within the next 5 minutes because you're first to react to news or something, then AI has good use here. But if it's like a big ad that should go out there, it can piss off a lot of people right now. And because it's just all, I don't know, if everybody's doing AI ads, then...
Speaking of AI pissing off a lot of people, AI has pissed off an entire state, and that state is the state of California, with Tilly Norwood, if you've not heard about this, which I assume you have.
Sounds like an OnlyFans model.
It doesn't it? That name literally was not, I don't get it. But Tilly Norwood has been all over the internet, an AI actress that has been signed and created by a company called Particle 6, and California has lost its shit from the Screen Actors Guild to CAA. Like all these governing bodies around the show business are coming out saying, no, it's illegal. And now I think they've made it illegal in California to sign an AI actress to an agent and to a production company, which is interesting. It's the first actual real step of going like, stop, So that's given me an idea of where the industry is currently at. But just a quick behind the scenes of how this thing came to light. So like Tilly Norwood was produced by this company, Particle 6, and they did like a field test. And they went in the street and showed a picture of this woman and said like, how would you think of her? Would you kiss her? And like the overarching like thing was, yeah, she's hot. Yeah, she's great. Oh my gosh, I would like, literally it was like, would you passionately kiss her or something? It was something like that. And everyone responded, yes. And then now like this, let's face it, this is a PR move. All right, we're not done. This is a PR move. This is all this is. But it's just interesting because they've literally taken it. They've gone like this. Oh, no, wind's blowing that way. We're not going to do it. But it's good to know. That's what this whole thing has been. But having actors come out, speak about it, it's starting the conversation, Mick. It's starting this conversation of like, ooh.
I think it's a thing that's not going to work for this one. Or maybe it will because of the controversy, being a first mover. We have already seen multiple AI influencers gather hundreds of thousands of followers, and they have been in ads. But my question is, why on earth would Netflix pay an agency to own an actress that doesn't exist if they can create
NFTs.
Their own? No, if they can create their own roster, right? Like, it would be an old school studio model where you own an actor, but
contract players.
Exactly, but now it's not just like owning an actor by having a contract. It's literally owning an actress, right? Because they can create the whole character, put her in multiple movies, and people will be none the wiser. I don't know. I think this is going to happen. And they will test the waters. How is that different? Let's be honest, from creating an animated movie for kids with repeatable characters. These characters don't exist. So you can replace the voice. The actor goes, oh, actually, I don't want to do this anymore. Cool, let's put in another actor with a similar voice. So I think they will start with animated movies, right? Like Goku doesn't exist. Spider-Man doesn't exist. Bruce Wayne doesn't exist. But he's a character.
Whoa. Bruce Wayne isn't real.
No, but he... is owned by a studio, right? So Warner Brothers, they own DC, they own the character. So I think that's going to be the same thing. It's just going to, it's bridging the gap between animation and real, right? So again, in Avatar, these main characters don't actually exist, right? But they're just owned by James Cameron. So whoever owns the IP, if you can create a story with good IP, now that I keep talking about this, I really don't see what the big deal is. We had AI characters or like virtual characters for so long and they're owned as an IP. So how is this actress different? She's just an IP owned by somebody else. Like there's no difference.
Yes, I get it. Yeah, there's an IP as a character, as a brand, but then I think that's the flip side. The character is you know, it's disbelief. We know it doesn't exist, but like giving her a name, giving her
Oh,
a
you mean
face,
like Peter Parker, Bruce Wayne, Mary Jane?
but the origins of that, though, you know, we know it's where it's coming from, but giving something a name to then mimic human beings and mimic actors and actresses, I think that's where the line gets a bit weird, you know. But
Bringing us back full circle to the point that you've made, it's a publicity stunt. Because this is no different from owning an IP as a character. If you rename Tilly Norwood to be, again, Mary Jane Watson from Spider-Man, nobody would bat an eye, because that's a character. Yeah, this is what she looks like. Yeah, we're gonna create an AI film using this IP. So there's no difference. So I don't. Yeah, the outrage here is because they try to push it and see how far can it go to get articles written about it. It's all about publicity.
And you've done it in one of the countries where they have the most immediate, let's get up and raw about it sort of things. Well, let's test America. Why? Because we know probably in the next 48 hours, a bill will go through Congress, every actor will speak out, someone do a charity raise ball.
And it's not even America. Let's put it in Hollywood. Let's put it inside of the melting pot of, oh no, what are we doing? Is AI going to take our jobs? So, yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, that was this week's news in AI. For Sora 2, for duping me, for Wizz Air thinking about their brand perspective using AI, and then now we're talking about AI tackling on Hollywood. It's on all these levels, you know, like it's ever prevalent when you think about the bigger picture holistically, you know?
Yeah. It's seeping into every single part of the economy and into film industry, into advertising industry, marketing. Some people push it too far. Klarna fired a lot of people in marketing to replace them with AI. 6 months later, they brought a person back. So, you always overcorrect one way or the other. And the only thing that we can see is that the models are getting better. The videos are getting so good right now that it's indistinguishable from reality. It just needs a little bit more fidelity and definition. And, that's it. Game over. So if you think about it in those terms, this is just going to be bigger and bigger and bigger, and more people are going to be out of this industry, unfortunately. So how do you actually tackle this in a smart way? How do you prep yourself to not be replaced by AI? And I think there are two ways to do that. One is what you're doing, which is focusing on filming real people, real scenarios, real situations, and like what we're doing here at the podcast, trying to build ourselves in terms of like, hey, we're real people, authentic people that have opinions. Yeah, who are we? And then if you are a creator who is not going to be on camera, if you're not filming documentaries, but you are really into narrative storytelling, or if you are into producing short form content, short ads, then brace yourself and better implement all of the AI tools in your arsenal, because this train is not stopping. There's no way. They just made so many commitments to it that, like, OpenAI right now, I don't know if you heard this infinite money glitch that they basically figured out. So Nvidia put 100 billion as an investment into OpenAI, and OpenAI committed to Oracle to have their data centers built for 300 billion. So then Oracle is going to take that money and purchase from Nvidia. So it's like a nice circular economy. All of these companies are so intertwined right now because this has become such a bubble that it's too big to fail.
That scares me. I saw something, I don't know who said it, but someone's comparing like the last bubble, like the housing crisis in America, like that bubble is nothing in comparison to this bath. It's not a bubble, this is a bath full of bubbles, So that scares me if it's too big to fail. I don't think so. I think... Doesn't that scare you a little bit, Mick?
Yeah, but, we're in a cost of living crisis. We're in a place where everything is getting more expensive. AI is taking people's jobs. Good thing that you're not looking for a job now, or I'm not looking for a job now, because the job market is apparently really, really harsh right now. If you're trying to switch a job, if you don't have something lined up, because companies are reducing headcount. There's not enough money being spent, especially in the UK where we are right now. A lot of companies are tightening their marketing budgets. They're not spending as much on video, and now they see AI stuff and they ask questions. Why would I spend, again, 100K on an ad like I spent 3 years ago if we have tools that enable us to do this for $100? So as a creative, you can justify, oh, okay, I'll still charge you 15, but you cannot charge 100 anymore. Nobody is able to charge 100 anymore unless you have a big name, big celebrity attached. And that was the point that you always made, which is people follow people. Anyway, that was a very good one. And let's close on this thought. Any other thoughts, Dim? All right, bye.